See it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Welcome to Jourdan Matthew. I'm with director of Carter's Champions, and she puts on the pink dress run. She's here to talk about the pink dress run.
Hey, how are you, Jourdan?
What's up?
Nothing. What's going on with you? Are we ready? Are we ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Look at you. I love your dress. Where'd you buy that?
Made it. So let's tell the audience what is new for this year with the COVID and how we're doing it.
Yeah, unfortunately, COVID, I think, has just made such a big difference on everything. But we ended up canceling the 5K run part of it. Just you can't run a 5K with a mask, or we'd have AMR out there picking up people the whole time. So we thought, no, that's not. And it was, it was, should we do it? Should we not do it? But anyway, we decided to do it and just change it up a little. So we're going to have the Pink Dress No Run block party for breast cancer outside of Chandelier, doing the things that everybody loves. The best
part of it. The best part of it.
Yeah, I was like, who wants to run? Yeah.
I'll tell you, and that's me. I'm one of the co-founders with me, John Carter. So Liz came on, as director. But the best part is our block party. It's a lot of fun, family fun, a lot of survivors out there dancing. It's one of the things where when the run starts, you're like, all right, let's go back.
Yeah.
Are you ready? So
let's go.
Liz was adamant about, like, we're not stopping this. We're going to do something. We're going to have some kind of event, and we went back and forth. So, it's important that she stuck it out, and I think we're gonna have a pretty good turnout.
I do too, and yeah, it was, for as hard as it was to decide to do it or not do it. Breast cancer did not go away for COVID, and breast cancer is not going to get any better during COVID. And there's all kinds of numbers and statistics I've heard, and I can't remember all of them right now, but on how many people that, number one, needed to be diagnosed for cancer, including breast cancer, and they never were able to. I think we're a little ahead of the ball game as far as we've been open for a while, but there's still states that aren't open and aren't doing everything yet. And so, they didn't want you to come in the hospital to get mammograms or to get your different kind of testing because of all the patients that were in there with COVID. So it's really just been kind of a hard year. Same thing with people's chemotherapy and their radiation treatments. Everybody with cancer has not been able to get what they should and what they normally can since March, really, here on the coast, and even longer than that in other places. So we just didn't, the whole idea that we want it to be fun, no doubt. We always want it to be fun. And I had a great time last year. That's the first year I was there for like the whole time. And it was, you just stand around laughing and smiling the whole time. But it's also a breast cancer fundraiser. And this year
we
just couldn't let it go.
This year we're with Gulfport Memorial Foundation, right?
Yes. Yep. We're with the Memorial Hospital Foundation. So that means everything that we raise, all of our proceeds, everything's going local. It's for local women and local men that are patients of Memorial being treated for breast cancer. You can't get any more. I mean, no, we're not. You and I and John are not in our sheds in the backyard doing research for cancer. That's we're not telling anybody we're doing research, but it does go to people that need their treatments. They have a fund for mammograms for people that are not insured or underinsured. They have transportation. They can help with medication. So it goes to the foundation, which is a nonprofit, and then the foundation goes through the hospital and sees what the needs are, and then that's what they give them to. But for this, it's all breast cancer.
Cool. I mean,
yeah, it's
been a crazy few months.
Yeah, I'd say.
I mean, it really has, and we just can't stop.
No,
it's gonna be different. It will be different, guys. We're gonna, keep your hands washed. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Stay clean.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure we'll have some hand sanitizer out there for you.
We will. I have all kinds of bottles already.
Since it's an outdoor event, there will be social distancing because it's outdoor, and nobody wants anybody to be in their space.
Exactly. And we'll have signs out there to remind everybody. And then the mask thing. I know that's not a rule anymore in Mississippi. You don't have to wear a mask, but a lot of people still feel more comfortable doing it. And that's in your swag bag this year. Everybody has a mask in there. So it's a Pink Dress Run mask. We'll be able to give one of those to everybody until we run out, but everybody will get one of those so that if you want to wear it, you don't have to feel like, you know, I'm the only one with a mask on. Wear your mask in between your eating and your drinking, and just be considerate of everybody else. It comes in a swag bag.
And you can sign up at www.pinkdressrun.com, and it's $25. You'll get a free you'll get a Shandy beer.
Right.
Shout out to Chandelier for being a big sponsor. Shout out to Keystone Federal Credit Union, Mitchell Distributing, Bradford O'Keefe Funeral Homes, Bancorp South, Island View. Was it Halter Marines?
Halter Marine, yep, new sponsor.
Who else we got here, Liz?
Samawi.
That's me.
That guy sitting over there.
Captain Owls.
Right. Century 21, Jay Carter and Company.
For sure. Can't forget about that. I will forget about you, John. I'm doing that on purpose.
See, I reminded him, John. Don't worry.
Are we missing any?
Let me think again. Bancorp South, Bradford O'Keefe, Keystone Federal, Island View, Halter, Mitchell Distributing.
I think Hancock Whitney will be hopping on, huh?
We're hoping so.
Yeah.
Yep. We've talked to them, and we've talked to several other people that are seeing if they can do it, working on it. So hopefully we'll have some more too. It's the sponsorship is really what helps us to be able to give that money back to Memorial Hospital Foundation. You know, we get our $25 that comes in for everybody that registers, and we'll have merchandise out there to sell. We'll have other games. We'll have Pop Brothers.
Shannon, she's so excited about being out there this year.
Good.
She her food truck?
Yeah, I know. It looks great.
It's got neon lights. She sent like I don't know, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and she's like so excited sending it out to me. She was like, "We're still doing this, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." But yeah, the big thing that I have to say, guys, that you really want to be a part of is the best dress contest for $500.
Yeah, right then and there, you get $500.
I mean, it is so
fun.
It's the best.
It's crazy. It
really
fun.
is. But yeah, you know, you can go, and also if you don't want to go to the event, you can go to pinkdressrun.com and actually just donate. Even if you're not going to make it, just donate.
Just donate. Like I said, it's
$20. I mean, just come on. You're on Amazon. You're shopping all day, and this money goes to Gulfport Memorial Foundation. So that's a big impact on the Gulf Coast.
Right, all local. Yeah. And who of us doesn't know somebody that's been affected by breast cancer? I mean, I'll go into whole rooms and talk to people with all kinds of people in there, and everybody raises their hand. I mean, everybody knows someone that's been affected by it. And, you know, the statistics are 1 out of 8 women will get it. 1 out of 3 women will die from it. And in 2020, the expectation is about 42,000 people women in the United States that will die of breast cancer. So we got to help stop that.
And for not only for raise money for me, that makes it why it's a lot of work putting this event on, and you know it is. I mean, you're kind of leading the way for us, and you took charge. But I think the big thing for me is it's not really as almost about raising money as much, and that's why you should donate. It donates to help, but like for the survivors, when you go to an event, and I've been in several events, the survivors are really they're not. I mean, they're there, but what we bring to survivors is a good day of electric slide and laughter and feeling pretty and being honored, and then that's kind of what the Pink Dress Run block party is, or Pink Dress Run in general. Like last year, you're hanging out with the survivors. The survivors need an outlet. You know, a lot of them are insecurities are real big with them. Some of the women, you know, to go, you know, I've noticed that about them. You know, so you have an event about them, and they get to hang out, eat food, laugh, cut up, dance. There was a lot of dancing last year.
There was a lot of dancing.
It was that and John walking around with the wings. We'll also Be Fit. We can't forget about Be Fit.
Be Fit is going to be out there again, and
Gulf Coast Event Center. They definitely stepped in with us this year. Shout out to Jessica. You need to leave your house. Love you, Jessica. Hopefully you'll come out, Jess.
I'll give you a mask, Jessica.
Is it dog friendly?
Is it dog friendly? Do you know I do not ever remember seeing dogs out there. I know when I was working with the American Cancer Society for making strides, really you weren't supposed to have any out on the town green anyway. But, you got to be able to watch your dog, take care of your dog. Unfortunately, there were times where I saw a dog just get upset, not at their own fault. Yeah. Somebody was teasing them or whatever. And I thought, okay, here's our first dog bite. So I think you have to be really careful about that. If your dog gets jittery around people, then it's not a good place to bring them.
No, the only reason I bring that Shandy is they do the dog friendly, but we'll also be having music from 3 to 6.
Right.
Paige hit me up on that at Chandelier. So we're going to have from 3 to 6. I think we're going to have some other music too coming early in the day. But like, you want to be at this event. I got another event called the Holocaust right after for the Boys and Girls Club, and I know that I'm going to be at both, and it's going to be a long day. but it's one of the events you just don't want to miss because you see people really feeling comfortable and really enjoying themselves, and I think that's what separates, if you ask me, Carter's Champions. What separates like all kinds of other events, because you're at home when you're with us.
Yeah, it is. It's a block party is a good word for it. Really.
In pink dresses.
And pink dresses, yeah. And hanging out and having fun. And Brantley with Be Fit, he's going to have some other kind of, like relays and that sort of thing out there too. So that if you want to do something physical,
you don't
we'll
know
have
Be
that
Fit is,
too.
you look them up. Look up Be Fit.
Be Fit, they do a great job. Everybody loves that place. So we'll have Brantley out there, and we're going to have some kids' activities. Memorial Hospital is going to have a tent out there. Foundations, professional bra fittings, they're going to be out there with their bra bus. Yeah. So it'll give it, and they have mastectomy bras as well as regular bras, swimwear. So they'll be out there. They'll be able to do fittings for you, because how many of us ladies have really had a professional bra fitting and then we complain that they don't fit right? It's because we never had it done right.
I might need to get one.
You should get one for your dress. I might need to get one.
Yeah. All this southern food, and it's been a crazy time. I might need to get a bra.
But yeah, between quarantine snacks and hurricane snacks, it's been a rough year.
We've been eating. Well, when COVID hit, I went full blown like, okay, we're eating out. We're going out. We're shopping local. We're going to be eating out this year. And I think that was the push for me was, okay, well, no matter what, we're going to step out. And when you eat out every day,
it's
every day.
You can't help it.
What else do we have? Do you know anything else?
What else do we have?
You're the director.
We'll do some dancing and the Survivor celebration. I'm trying to think what other. Okay, I'll tell you up front. The cornhole got canceled for this year, so we won't have the cornhole out there, and that did real well last year. So hopefully we'll get that back again.
Shout out to Randy Richardson.
Yeah, Randy was great. He was willing to do it this year, but he just couldn't get all the equipment and everything that was needed. So, but he's still going to be there. Randy will still be there. But it was the group that helped him and gave him all that stuff for last year. Just couldn't do it this year.
And we're gonna have the big, what'd you say, the big door prizes?
Yeah, the big ticket door prizes.
We have some drawings. You can win some stuff. But yeah, like I said, go to www.pinkdressrun.com and either sign up for the run or just give me some of your money. That's
just come and do both, because like I said, I've gone to other runs before. I've gone to other walks before. Making strides and Real Men Wear Pink was my life for several years. But there is just something about the pink dress run that's a whole new level. It really is. And everybody just has a great time out there.
So how long have you been in this industry of raising money?
Well, I started in the American Red Cross in blood services back in 1987 when I first
born in 86.
Moved. Quiet down. Quiet down. We don't need to talk about years and ages. But it's that, although that was raising blood, not raising money.
Still making a difference.
We did a lot of big blood drives, a lot of event blood drives, and so we had to get sponsors and get things donated. So basically it's 35 years now that I've been doing all of that. Yeah.
Really?
And prior to that I was in retail. back when I was in Chicago, living in Chicago. I did retail management, ladies' clothes.
I think my phone is going off.
It might be mine in the other room.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, they can wait. Guys, sorry about that. I hope it don't bother you. So in 1987, you started going with the Red Cross.
Right.
And then you decided to, I mean, what, I mean, do you have your background in social works? Did your degree in? I mean, what inspired you to go, you know what, I'm going to start raising money?
That actually, that's what I originally, when I first went to college, I was going to do social work, but that didn't last long. So, it's business administration and marketing, and I did the retail thing for a few years until we moved down here. I moved down here in 1985 from Chicago suburbs, and got into. I saw the ad for the Red Cross job in the paper,
like a newspaper. Did you circle it like in like a montage where you like, and then you dialed the big white phone, you know, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like back then. Yeah, they didn't do everything over
the first
the
Ninja Turtles movie when like what was her name? The O'Neill. Oh man, I forgot the anchor's name from the first Ninja Turtles movie. Oh man,
I haven't seen that in so long.
April O'Neill.
Okay.
And she was on the phone, and she called in, and I remember the scene, and it was a police chief or whatever, and they dialed this white phone. It was like, and the clicks. Tick, 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 tick. You remember that? It's all the phones back then. When I was growing up in the house, it was like, no, we had the phone that went.
Yeah, that's the kind I had when I was little.
My parents liked that look in our house. They hung it on the wall, and it's like, because they knew that I would be like trying to three-way chat with girls and stuff. So even like the 90s, I had that phone, and it didn't have that kind of.
Yeah, it doesn't have that same. That rotary dial was crazy. Our party lines were different people's houses were all on the same line. So you'd pick up the phone and there'd be some other conversation going on from a neighbor's house.
I used to, funny you talk about it, this is off top subject, but this is why we podcast. I used to always like looking at the under $100 ads.
Yeah, I did too. Never anything I needed, just wanted to see what was in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that was powerful back then. So you just were like, hey, I'm gonna try to find a job, and you. So with that time, I mean, did you start from the bottom?
We were what was called, they changed the titles a million years, but it was donor recruitment. So it was trying to find people to give blood and trying to find businesses and churches and schools to host blood drives. And at the bottom, that's actually a good way to put it. Donor resources, as it's been called. That is sort of like the bottom, because nobody's going to get blood if we're not out there trying to find it and trying to get people to give and reminding people how important it was. So, I did that for 28 years. For a while, I moved up to New York, and I was the manager of donor recruitment for 2.5 years. And then we ended up moving back down here because my daughter was, I won't say sick, but she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when she was 5 years old. And
you have it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, both y'all do.
Yep. We couldn't get anybody to take care of her. That's going back.
That's a whole different. That's a whole
ago,
different.
Yeah.
I think in the future we're gonna be raising money for that. I mean, that's a big thing. I got a few friends. I got one buddy, Dan. He's on dialysis.
Yeah.
I had lunch with him, and I'm like, man, I need you on podcast talk about your life. He went blind for 2 years.
Yeah. Yep. It's got all kinds of side effects.
I mean, it'll get you.
It'll get you. Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're not careful, you're living almost like. I think for him, and I know he battles with things. He's got a beautiful car. He's beautiful car. That's what he loves to do, and it's a S2000, which is like a show car to him. But he just loves that car. And how many people just go blind for 2 years and still stay positive?
Yeah.
So he has some rocky days. Music keeps him positive, but every Taco Tuesday at Rooftop, he's there. And he has to get his fix.
Yeah.
But he's making the best out of life. But you're living on life support, is what he says.
It's true, and it's every day, every minute. You're having to watch your blood sugar. Anyway, we couldn't find anybody to take care of Megan during the summer when school was out. So we said, okay, let's go back to Biloxi. So we moved back here. And
is it a weekly thing for type 1 diabetes? I mean, I go on, like when we talk on podcasts, we go off on, is it a weekly monitor? Like, do you have to, is it weekly, daily? Oh.
Way daily. Most diabetics will stick their finger and check their blood 4 or 5 times a day. Yeah.
So it was important that y'all did come for that, like, and to have, going from a big city to have some support for her to make sure we're talking about a kid.
Right. My family was down here, so I knew my mom could help, and then my mother-in-law moved down here, so we had that kind of help for her. But and she's doing great. She's almost 30 now, and she's doing really well. But it's it's an everyday, all day kind of thing that you have to worry about. And it's funny because I used to tell her when she was little, which I probably never should have said this. It was just like, well, Megan, it's hard and it's a pain in the neck, but it's better than having cancer. And then look where I end up. And that's kind of after I left Red Cross, because that was a life and death kind of thing, always making sure there was blood available for people here on the coast. And so when I decided to leave there after 28 years and I retired, it was like, I'm going to do something fun now. I'm no more of this life and death stuff. I just want to do something fun. And then I saw the ad for American Cancer Society, and pretty much, well, all of my grandparents died of cancer. Most of my aunts and uncles have died of cancer. Now that, I've been dealing with breast cancer, blood drives, breast cancer walks, and that sort of thing. I know even more now than I ever did before. And it was like, yeah, I think I'm going to do that instead. So I went from life and death to life and death. But it's what I wanted to do. It's what I wanted to do. And
it's not. We're trying to raise money here, guys. That's why it's always donation, because that's what we're trying to do it for. Changing lives, making a difference, but you got to raise money.
Yeah.
These places need that because there are people that can't afford. A person gets cancer, or they sometimes can't afford the treatments, so they need people like Carter's Champions or Gulfport Memorial Foundation to help them get by, because it's expensive.
Oh, that's an understatement.
Yeah, Mom had non-Hodgkin's. My mom never had breast cancer; she had non-Hodgkin's, but still,
Oh, it's super expensive, and it can go on for months and years. And I think that's one of the things that we really want people to know. Just because somebody had breast cancer and they either had a mastectomy or they're done with their chemo, it's not over for them. It's something that sticks with you
immune
your
system
whole life. Right, everything's still off from the time you've been going through the radiation, especially the chemotherapy. It can mess with they call it chemo brain, but it messes with your memory, it messes with your thinking, it messes with your self-confidence, your self-esteem, and you always are wondering, and I know parents with children that have had cancer, even though, okay, it's gone now and we don't have to worry about it anymore, you still have to go in and get your checkups on a regular basis. And everyone's fear is, are they going to find it again this time when I go in for my mammogram, or this time when I go in for my scans and my tests? So it doesn't just go away. I've talked to women where they couldn't work anymore. They could not find another job because they've had cancer, or they couldn't find another job because they just couldn't do everything they used to be able to do. And so it's really difficult.
Yeah,
it's much more than
2 years of radiation with Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
radiation's tough.
she's stronger, but she can't go work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
She's got a nap.
Yep.
You're being sunburnt.
You're right. From
these
the inside out. Yeah.
It wears
really bad.
Yeah, you're being like sunburned, and it wears you out, and you need more rest. You need, and then that's what I think. That's the big part of doing these kind of things. But also comes at why we say donate, because it's a lot to even put something on. I sacrifice family time. I sacrifice. Liz is a type 1 diabetic. I have cerebral palsy. I'm a Shriner's kid. So even we both have struggles, but we're still, and John. John's got a workload too. So Alicia, our team, we have this like coming together and doing this, just putting something on is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
And
but it's all from the heart.
It is.
You know, from everybody that participates.
That's why I like the block party part of it.
Yeah. I noticed that so much last year, is how many people were coming up and saying, you know, they want to get involved. They want to do this every year because they knew someone, their mom, their aunt, their sister, their whatever. And it's same thing. It's like everybody
who didn't cry there.
Yeah.
I mean, I did. I was like, you know, by the time you're there and you're like, okay, well, we're going to finish this, you know. And sorry, guys, a lot of people have been calling me lately. I haven't answered my phone. I've just been like in the zone. You know, because we're this whole week I was on the riding my ruckus around cruising the coast. This whole week I was on a scooter wearing a dress.
In a dress, yeah.
And had a lot of people going, you know, I had some booze. I thumbed them up. Hey, you know. But I've had a lot of people that was really cool. They were like cheering.
Yeah.
And they knew.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew. They're like.
There is such a, and I also did Relay for Life for the American Cancer Society, and that's all types of cancer. So I've been involved in all of it. But there is such a passion for breast cancer. And I know some people are like, well, why is breast cancer such a big deal? Well, it's because it's our moms and grandmas and sisters and best friends and daughters, and there's just something about that relationship that. And women just in general. It can be any of us.
And men.
And men, exactly.
Yeah, it's been coming up with men. More women.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I think the experience of, like, go back to like me riding the scooter and raising awareness. I mean, I'm just trying to hook you guys in to come to the run. I mean, it's working. You know, it was working. I was going out there people were taking pictures with me, and I was just like, yeah. When they sit down and ask me like, well, why, you know, the benefit, you know, of course, my mom having, you know, non-Hodgkin's, which is not breast cancer, but the fact that I'm just getting out and doing it, and I'm one of the co-founders of the event. So if I'm going to put an event on, I'm not just going to put my name on something without going out, shaking hands, raising awareness, because awareness is where we need to be.
Right.
The more people talk about the Pink Dress Run, the more we win. The more people come, the more sponsors come in, which we've been very blessed with our sponsors, and we're thankful, and it's growing. And if you want. Well, I'm definitely going to leave Liz's contact in here, but I mean, if you want to sponsor, I mean, and the money goes to Gulfport Foundation, it's a good write-off for your business.
Oh, sure. And I think there's a lot of businesses this year that didn't get to do as much of that as they normally do because so many things have been canceled. Hurricanes
and COVID?
Yep. What a year, huh? I mean, really. And it probably was the hardest year as far as trying to put on an event because you just never knew what you could do, couldn't do, could it happen, does it have to be canceled? So yeah, it is a lot of work, but it's so worth it when you see everybody out there having a good time.
It is. Emily goes, when we were talking about, like, because we're doing like so first we wasn't going to do the run, we decided not to do the run, and then we bounced back to doing the run. Well, we pre-planned the Hologross, which is the Boys and Girls event. It's kind of the same, it's just us raising money, but we bounced back, and I remember Emily going, what day is this? The first is October 24th was our it's our Pink Dress Run date. Well, we had our Hologross on the 31st. So then I was like, okay, we're not doing the Pink Dress Run. We're moving to 24th because 31st we have our kids stuff, and then it's like, okay, well, we moved it, and I'm like, so that block a day, but it's all raising money.
Yeah.
And it's all relationships that we build with the same people, like Mr. Stripping stepping in on that. I mean, I think any cost, like, it's just us, and then you're going to see this with Carter's Champions. Oh, you're going to see this with Carter's Champions. I get too excited and my hands just move.
Good catch.
Yeah, but you're going to see not just breast cancer. We're going to be not just with the run, but with the foundation of, you know, Carter's Champion and having Liz as our director. We knew, me and John sat and talked one time we had a few beers and we were sitting and talking. We talked maybe 3 hours about, like, we got to have Liz. Like, we just got to have Liz because, you know, where we're going to stop is not just with breast cancer. You're going to see Carter Champions everywhere. And that's something that I'm excited to be a part of, but it can't happen without support. It can't happen without people coming out and showing support. It can't. It will never happen if people don't come out and go, you know what, here's $25. You know, and look, we know some people show up and they don't pay. Shame on you. Honestly, shame on you because, you know, it's every year I'm in the hole. And Liz is in the hole. Every year it's like we're in the hole. I mean, but
Yeah,
it's getting bigger.
We don't want to spend a whole lot of money on expenses. I mean, you could spend a ton of money on an event just in all the expenses. And we don't want to do that. We want to be able to give the money to Memorial and let the foundation give it to the people out there that really need it, the local people. So yeah, it's a lot of times like, oh, I'll just pay for that. I'm in Oriental trading, ordering pink stuff. It's like, oh, I'll take care of this.
I'm just I'm mentally focused to like know that I'm have to have my camera.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking,
he takes great pictures at this drive. Everything
I don't
that
take
you
pictures;
see.
it's captured memories.
Okay, capture
that's
pink
what it is.
memories. Yeah, it is.
It's all about like I'm not anybody could be a photographer. I'm not trying to get the best shot. I'm just trying to capture that moment.
There's some great pictures that
very emotional.
That we have.
Yeah.
Everything you see online pretty much is something that
but most
Jourdan's captured.
But most of the pictures were from Emily.
She did.
Like the running down the road and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them really smooth shots were Emily.
Yeah.
Because she has I gave her my old camera with the telescope lens on it, and she's like, I want to do this, and I was blown away. She sent them to me. I was like, whoa, better than mine. Way better than mine. And that's like I said, guys, just come out. You got to donate. You got to make a difference. If you feel like you haven't really, you work in a career, you have a family, you feel like you haven't given back. I mean, this is a good time to do it. Not only do we want you to donate, but if you want to help volunteer, we definitely want volunteers. I think that's something we've always talked about was having volunteers. But yeah, it will change your life. It's a lot of work, but it will change your life.
It really does. You get to meet so many good people and fun people, and like say survivors that have been to here and back again, and they're out there and they're having fun, and it just, we do door prizes with them, and we're going to have a little tent set up this year for the survivors. And so each year, like I said, some of the things we wanted to do this year we just couldn't do, but each year we hope for it to get bigger and better. What's everybody always say? Get it as big as the Red Dress Run in New Orleans. Yeah.
My goal also, Liz, is to find a way to make an 8-foot tall inflatable John Carter in a pink dress.
One of those ones that goes like all over.
Yeah, one you're going to see me like make a billboard fly. We're going to put John. But no, like I said, appreciate you stopping by. Like I said, you go to pinkdressrun.com. You can also contact Liz at what, 228-243-8221. 21. And then in text, call. She don't sleep.
No, pretty much.
No, not at all.
Not
well,
so
Liz,
much.
I appreciate you being on Jourdan and Matthew. What do you think?
Thank you. That was fun.
And thank you for the birthday gift.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right.
Least I could do.
Guys, talk to you later.
All right, bye. Thanks.